there's an important realization which you need to come to, which basically is the awareness that life and the afterlife can only occur in this place, this program we call Earth. Okay? The life and the afterlife can only happen here. Anything outside of that, i.e., when consciousness completely leaves the physical realm, drops it completely, wherever consciousness is left or wherever consciousness ends up, it's not that place cannot be described as the afterlife. Life has no grip over there. Although consciousness is life itself, consciousness will be expressing in a different way. It expresses in a quantum, infinite way. And that place is not known as the afterlife. Let me give you an example. So say, for instance, a fox or a rabbit is shot in the woods, and he dies. His body decomposes. His consciousness is transferred into other things, He drops the body there. The consciousness drops the body, but it will transfer into something else, maybe some weeds, or become part of the food cycle of a bird who then, because of food, you are what you eat, you become, it's part and parcel of yourself, and then the bird goes on to lay an egg, and it's transferred itself, isn't it? So now it's a bird or bush or whatever it is, or a tree grows in place where it died. That rabbit is in the afterlife. Right here, right now. Right here, right now, bro. The afterlife is just a word. It's just a word we use, to describe these transitions because of attachments, In this place we call our home, Earth, whatever. Think of it this way. I've explained it as like a bubble, Think of it as your bubble of reality. You're here, you're expressing whatever, But depending on the keyhole you're looking out of, that kind of dictates the matrix code you see, So if you're looking out of the keyhole of a tree, your matrix code will be different. If you're looking out of the keyhole of a dog, your matrix code will be different. If you're looking out of the keyhole of a man, your matrix code will be different, So these transitions are usually happening in the same point where consciousness is looking out of that keyhole, looking through a physical being to experience itself. Outside of that keyhole, consciousness is not experiencing itself through a physical form. It's experiencing itself in real time. That's not the afterlife. That is the infinite loop of... I don't know the word, bro. It's above my pay station, bro. Because at that point, you are in the quantum field of infinite potential. Everything exists simultaneously. That's not life. Okay? Because in the physical realm, physical bodies must die to make way for other perspectives of consciousness. This is a fact. You will die one day to give way to another perspective of consciousness because you are occupying a unique perspective, but you must die eventually in order for another expression of consciousness to occupy that unique perspective. Believe what you want, but these are facts. You get it? Good. So when the ancient Egyptians were mummifying people, yeah, it's esoteric. Because without consciousness, when you look outside of this keyhole, yeah, this keyhole called the physical realm, yeah, Earth. The only thing that exists here is time and matter. Time and matter are one and the same thing, two sides of the same coin. I wrote a paper on this. You can check it out. Time and matter are the same thing, two sides of the same coin. Just by virtue of time existing side by side with matter, we have to contend with the element of decay. Go and bring whoever you like, bro. It's a fact. Which means that without consciousness, all you experience through this, the physical being, is decay. Yeah, because matter will have to decay, have to change for, with time. It is in this dance because time stretches it out. And because matter is not eternal, it just has to, keep breaking down and changing forms and breaking down, decaying. Yeah, exactly. So when the ancients supposedly took out all the organs and stuff like that to prevent decay, it's no different from your cells in your body. Yeah? Because every 7 years, right? Every 7 years, you're a brand new person anyway. Completely different. New. Fresh. Yeah? So that means every 7 years, you're completely overhauled. You're basically mummified, yeah? All your stuff is taken out, yeah? And you're given new things, yeah? Your stuff is taken out. You're given new bits for your new life because you're a new person. You are literally living this afterlife life thing in HD, 4K, every single day. I hope it's not raining. Got my hoodie on. I think it's drizzling. 1 second, guys. I think back along I made a video. I titled it Cycles or something. Because essentially this experience that we call life is just one big cycle, yeah? And within that cycle, there are cycles, yeah? And every cycle has a beginning and what appears to be a peak and what appears to be the end, and it loops back on itself. That's what cycle is. Otherwise, it's not a cycle, yeah? It's just one thing. It's just like, I don't know what the word would be for, that'd be an event, wouldn't it? Otherwise. So, what I'm trying to say is, life being a cycle means that our experience here on Earth, in this program called Earth, so Earth is not a place, but a program, a shared program. Life and the afterlife are part of the same cycle. So if you want to think of it this way for ease, it's almost as if when, just like any cycle, yeah, you have your peak and then a trough and the inverted aspect of the cycle, yeah. So the top bit, the inverted side of it, or the shadow aspect of it, is the afterlife. because it's all within the same cycle. Yeah, it's one thing. Consciousness experiencing itself. What is consciousness? Consciousness is life itself. So life itself is experiencing itself. Yeah, within a cycle. Yeah, because consciousness, when it comes or when it decides to participate in this game of self-experience, consciousness has to be dual in nature. Otherwise, because consciousness is infinite, it wouldn't make sense. Yeah, we would live for thousands and millions of years and nothing would actually change, nothing would happen. Yeah. And because change is also a fundamental aspect of consciousness itself, yeah, that means that the zeros and ones reflect out, and that's what we perceive as duality. Yeah. Duality is not some like other place, like, oh, the world of duality, like it's some place in fucking Birmingham or something. No, it's not. It's like it's part of us. Yeah. There's nothing here that we're seeing that's not part of us. Okay? Nothing. Nothing. Yeah? Everything you see in your microcosm is you, and everything we see on the wider screen is a reflection of us. Yeah? I made a video and I don't think I released it. I'll try and dig it out if I remember where it is. And post it. But essentially I was talking about this very concept. So in essence, what I'm saying is this: consciousness, life itself, change itself, awareness itself is experiencing itself. Yeah? The triad, if you like. Yeah? It's a cycle. And within that one cycle, there are a billion cycles. A billion is just an arbitrary number. There are infinite amounts of cycles because consciousness is infinite. Okay. So we see that with the sun, the moon, the weather, the fucking breathing, our heart rate, blood moving, our blood coursing up and down our bodies, seasons, even walking is a cycle. It's one, two, yeah. Everywhere. We're surrounded by cycles. We are a cycle ourselves, and within that one cycle's infinite cycles. Yeah, got it? Cool. Now, when I say the afterlife is also part of the very same cycle because there's nothing external to consciousness, bro. What that means is this: the afterlife is not a place. It is not a location. There's nowhere to go. You can't go anywhere, bro. Where are you gonna go? Where are you gonna go? Human me, bro. Where are you gonna go? Where? You can't go anywhere, bro. You are locked within a cycle because you are the cycle itself. So it's almost like a like a cycle. Let's think of let me think of an example of a cyclical thing. Something like a watch or clock. Yeah? It's running on cycles. There is nothing that the gears can't influence anything outside of the clock. Does that make sense? It's all within that one framework. It can't go anywhere else, bro. Yeah? That's the length and breadth of your world. Now, when I say the afterlife, when I say the afterlife is the dog coming. I know I attract all these animals. Your boss wants you, mate. Your boss wants you. Hi, you okay? You alright? What's your name? Hmm? Your boss wants you. Come on. Ali. He's gone. Sweet dog. Labrador. What was I? Cycles. Okay, so everything being cyclical in nature, we are within that one cycle, cycles within cycles. The afterlife is within the very same cycle. Because outside of this experience called life, reality, whatever, I don't know the word for this thing, bro. I don't even think a word exists for it. But let's say the dream, the illusion, Maya, whatever. Outside of this, there is no afterlife. Yeah, there is no heaven waiting for you. There's no plate. There's no table laid out for you. You know, God is not sitting there waiting for you to hand you 72 virgins. There is none of that. There's no place you're gonna go. Wherever you respawn, as long as you're physical, will be here. Let me say that one more time. Wherever you respawn, as long as you're physical, will be here. And when I say physical, yeah, do not think for 1 second that you are the only physical thing in existence. Because, let's say, I shoot a pheasant, yeah? Bow, he's dead, falls down. But I'm not able to find him, or fox, or rabbit, whatever. He's dead. So he dies. As far as the human mind is concerned, you say he's dead. But essentially what has happened is he has gone into the transfer stage, yeah, of consciousness shifting gears into the quote-unquote afterlife, because he's going to experience life as another thing. That is the afterlife. Let's park that for 1 second and let me show you one thing. Let's say you die and you go to heaven for real. Oh my God, Jesus is there. Like all the fucking saints are there. They're like, they're all wearing their draping robes and, you know, they're all fucking, the choir is singing and, oh, and the fucking lights are there and golden streets and the spotlight is on you as you levitate. They're like, oh my God, John, blah, 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 has made it to heaven, and the applause and this thunderous and everyone's applauding. You've made it to heaven. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, blah, blah, blah. You have transferred into another state of experience. Have you not? Because now you can levitate. Now you can talk to God. Now you can do other things like worship God 24/7 while living in your dorm, I'm guessing. Is that what happens in heaven? I don't know. You know, or with your 72 virgins, gold paved streets and shit like that, right? Your experience has changed. Yeah? Your experience has completely changed. Even though you're still experiencing yourself as consciousness, right? Okay, hold on to that for a second. That rabbit, fox, whatever that I shot, that died, from the human limited consciousness, because most humans are very limited in consciousness. Oh, he's dead. He's not dead. He is in the cycle of transferring or being transferred from life into another state of experience, and for want of a better word, we call it the afterlife. Because what's going to happen? His physical body will be broken down by itself. The microbes within it, the maggots, the fucking whatever, the environment, which is also a reflection of itself, will break it down. So itself will break itself down, okay? Okay, that alone should give away the whole key, but hey, because if you're reflecting out and, okay. So he breaks himself down. And then let's say he becomes an apple tree, yeah? Or because of some seeds that he had, you are what you eat anyway, aren't you? So there's some seeds in his belly and they become a blackberry bush or an apple tree or whatever, yeah? Some grass, yeah? Or even some crows eat it and then whatever the protein gets assimilated into the crow's body. The crow then goes on to find a crow female and, you know, gives her one, and then next minute she's laying some eggs. That very same being, yeah, from a consciousness standpoint, is in the afterlife. Because at that point in time, it's become something else. There is no necessarily, there's no location. What is essentially happened is we're now looking at the reverse side of the cycle. It's become something else. So it's not even like the afterlife as a general term. It's after that original, or after the life of what we perceived. It has gone into another mode. It's transferred into another mode. That's what the afterlife is. That is what the afterlife is. Bro, you can bring whoever you like. You're not going to win this, bro. Now, here's the beauty of it being human. Because I keep telling you, you have the golden keys. But most of the time, you just give it away because you don't realize that you have the golden key. Now, from that perspective, we are the only beings, as far as I'm aware, that have the capability to actually access another life, i.e. the afterlife. After this current iteration of you, you can access it without physically dying. This is a fact. You can change your mentality, you can become a different person. You can change your ways, you're no longer that person anymore. You're in the afterlife. Because pre that death, you're a different person altogether. Those two people can't even be, they're not similar in any way. They're completely totally different. They're not even similar in any way, right? In no way. I know it's hard to wrap your head around because of the meaning collectively that people have attributed to the word after, and the meaning people have given to the word life, and the meaning people have given to the word afterlife. Because people tend to think that once you leave the physical body, it's over and you go somewhere else. It's not over because life is still experiencing itself. Consciousness is still experiencing itself. Awareness is still experiencing itself. Whether through you or something else, it doesn't give a fuck, bro. This is what I keep telling you. It doesn't care. Drop dead right now and see if life won't go on. Have you ever heard the expression, life goes on? Because it does. It does. It has no choice but to go on because it's part and parcel of its very expression. It must go on. Doesn't matter what happens, the sun will still have to rise. It's part of the cycle. The cycle has to keep going. And if we go back to the concept of the prime mover, I'm talking to intellectuals here. You guys know what I'm talking about. If you don't know, look it up. If we go back to the concept of the prime mover, yeah, the cause of all causes, something has caused all of this into motion, yeah? It can't be reduced further than that point. Now, that thing is in motion. The cycle is running, yeah? It's like an engine. You start to, it's running, yeah? All these cycles are, this complex interwoven thing. And if you want to think of the afterlife as a place outside of death, what happens to your consciousness? Your consciousness just transfers into another mode, into another physical form. Think of it like I told you previously, it shifts gears into another keyhole, another physical form. That's it. You occupy a unique perspective. I occupy a unique perspective. And you are running your simulation. I'm running my simulation. But eventually, if you don't actually ascend, you will have to go to make way for another physical specimen with a completely different and unique configuration to occupy that unique perspective to occupy that unique perspective, and life goes on. Because it's experiencing itself in all ways. That's what that's what the afterlife truly means, bro. If we're going to ask the big questions and say, okay, well, what about when you're not here completely? What about when consciousness leaves all physical forms, leaves all the keyholes alone, and reverts back to itself? You can't describe that as life because it's not life. At that point, you're looking at infinite potential. At that point, what you are looking at is the emergent point. The point that can become anything. Imagine a point on a paper, right? Just a simple example. If I place a point on a paper, what does it mean? That point on a paper can actually become anything at all. I can write a piece of music with it. I can paint a masterpiece with it. I can write poetry with it. I can design something with it. I can document my perspective with it. I can build a device from it. It can literally do everything in existence, because everything in existence begins with the emergent point, as I've told you before. So outside of experience, you won't find life there, bro. Because life doesn't exist outside of the physical. Like, it doesn't exist in the form we know it. Because outside of the physical, there are no cycles. It's just infinity. Infinite potential, ever expanded, doing its own thing. Who knows? Maybe it's experiencing itself in another way that our limited consciousness can't even fathom. You can't take that off the table. You can't. You really, really can't, bro. You really, really, really can't. So instead of trying to rack up good deeds for the afterlife and trying to do things in the future for the afterlife, or I'm going to do this and when I go, you're not going to heaven, bro. Shut the fuck up. You're an ignoramus. You can go to heaven now in your physical. And that's what you should be doing. You should be accessing the afterlife now. If you transcend the ego, where do you think you've gone? Yeah? Where do you think you've gone? You've transcended the ego, you've killed your ego. But you can't kill it. You can't kill it, but you've tried to kill it. Yeah? You've killed it as best as you can. It's like trying to kill an immortal, yeah? You've killed it as best as you can. That moment forward, what state of life are you in? Are you in the afterlife? In the afterlife of your original or the previous existence? You are. It can't be argued with. When a butterfly, right, is a caterpillar and it becomes a butterfly, is the butterfly not in the afterlife of the caterpillar? But they're one and the same, though, are they not? As hairy and annoying and not annoying, you know. Actually, like my kids love this. Every year we get the thing, and they have the caterpillars, and then they grow and they become butterflies and shit like that. It's a really nice thing to actually, if you can let your kids see it. It's really good for them to see the metamorphosis, the transformation. It's good. At the same time, you get them to get them interested in science and stuff like that, bro. Teach your kids. So When you realize that, you're like, okay, so you've become something else. You're in another state. You've transferred into another state, but you're the same thing. And when that butterfly dies and it gets eaten by a crow and is now part of the crow, that caterpillar is still the crow. It's part of it. But because most people live in the world of separation, they think, well, how's it possible? The crow is the crow, and it's just its own unique expression of consciousness. Bro, do you think me standing here, I'm just me? No, I'm not, bro. I am the faces and collection of all my ancestors in one. So who am I at the end of the day? I'm all of them wrapped up in one. Bro, these are simple facts, bro. Simple facts. So experience the afterlife whilst you can, bro. Because that's where if you think heaven is somewhere, that's where you find heaven. Because heaven's a state of mind anyway. But if you want to experience the afterlife, that's how you do it, bro. Shift states. I keep telling you, if you want to understand consciousness, observe consciousness. Observe water, bro. What does water do? Water can be steam. Yeah? Water's dual, it shows you the dualities. I told you, it's the originator of duality itself. Yeah? Water is the prime, the first mirror. And we're practically water, aren't we? Yeah. So that should tell you. When water becomes steam, or becomes a lake, becomes a river, becomes a pond, becomes an ocean, becomes a river, becomes a this, becomes that, becomes a river. There is no separation. Only the stupid human limited mind goes, oh, let's separate from that one. There's no separation. It's one thing, bro. Because, like I told you, water cannot be destroyed. There's nothing you can do to destroy water. You know, most fucking up people would tell you shit like, oh, energy can't be destroyed and it can't be created, blah, 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 blah. Water literally shows you this in real time. People don't get it. So if the energy is showing you this in real time, and you are practically water, even babies more so. Babies are practically like 80% water, bro. Right? Then what do you think you are? Okay. I'm just telling you. I don't have a horse in the race. It's your life. I'm just doing my thing. But so that's the key, bro. You can shift states into the afterlife at any time. Because the afterlife is part of life's cycle. The afterlife cannot exist outside of life cycle. Let me say that one more time for the numpties. The afterlife cannot exist outside the cycle of life. Impossible. When you die, you don't experience this place anymore. You realize that you're observing this place. You're experiencing this place. And wherever you are, it's not even quantifiable. Anybody that tells you they saw Jesus and they saw Mary, and I'm telling you, they're only seeing bro, they're lying. They are lying, bro. They're lying. All different types of expressions of consciousness in this one world, and you die, you went to see fucking white Jesus. Fuck off, bro. Stupid shit. You probably were concussed. You were replaying images from your own fucking mental whatever. I'm telling you, you didn't see no Mary, you didn't see no Jesus, bro. That's just the truth. Whatever you see wasn't them. Outside of here, it's infinite potential. Infinite potential. Like I said, I described it to you. It's the emergent point. Jesus, Mary, Allah, Buddha, they don't factor in, bro. They're human creations. It's like dying and seeing like a fucking, I don't know, car or something. Where the fuck you gonna see a car over there, bro? When here is the limited state of consciousness where we come on, bro. So yeah, I implore you guys, man, honestly. First lesson, recognize the work you have to do in order to make your heart as light as a feather. Second lesson, recognize that the afterlife and life are just pulses of the same cycle. Access it. Access it. Transcend states. That is the road to true freedom, bro. True experience, true awareness. I'm just telling you the facts, bro. That's it. Nah, not possible. Probably possible, but I can't be bothered, man. So yeah, bro. So in summary, where are we? The afterlife is part and parcel of the original cycle of consciousness expressing itself as life. 2. The afterlife is merely a shifting of states or change of state from one to another, 0 to 1, 1 to 0, 0 to 1, 1 to 0, because that is how infinity experiences itself in a limited way. Access it. Access it. You know the current state of awareness and consciousness that you're in. You know it. Nobody can tell you, bro. You know it. In your heart of hearts, you know it because your heart holds the key, holds information. You know it. You know exactly where you are. If you realize that it's not good, or you know the things you need to tweak, get right, whatever, do it and shift into the after stage of your current life. I don't have a better word to express it besides the after your previous life. Because every day you're born anew, bro. So every day you're in the afterlife anyway. Every fucking day you're in the afterlife. You think you are the same you from yesterday? If you think that, please turn off this channel right now. Thank you. You are part of a cycle and you are changing every second in the present moment. Whatever a second is. A second we know is pegged to the sun cycle. We know that. We know. But every second you're changing. Every 7 years, every cell in your body is brand new, bro. Do you think it happens on the 7th year or do you think it's happening every second of time? Come on, guys. Let's switch up, yeah? So every single day you're accessing the afterlife any fucking way. But it's your resistance, your choice between accessing a different state and replaying the old program. That's what's keeping you stuck. It's not anyone. It's not some boogeyman. It's not the government. It's not your fucking job. It's not your boss. It's not your ex. It's not your fucking education. It's nothing. It's you and the choices you're making to accept the program. Become fluid, bro. Change states. You think the river has a problem changing into steam or, becoming a waterfall or partway turning into a bit of a lake or flowing into a lake or the ocean? Do you think there's any resistance anywhere? No, it just changes states all the time. All the time. And I keep telling you, all you have is now, yeah? You have convinced yourself somehow that now is a long time. It's not. It's not, bro. It's not. Now really, really is not a long time. And you'll find out soon enough. Like when a thief creeps up on you in the night, you'll find out soon enough that now is not a long time. There are some of us that are like, bro, the other day I looked at my beard and I saw grey hairs. I was like, what the fuck? They look good though. I was like, damn. 2 weeks ago I was like 17, bro. In my mind. Not 2 weeks ago, you know what I mean? You don't have time. You don't have time to waste. This experience, this cycle that you're in is happening instantaneously. If you were to witness it, you'll see it. It's like one big explosion of like a firework. You know when it pops and then the other things pop within and it pops and it pops and it pops and it pops. But it's not forever. It's a cycle. It's going to come to an end. It's going to come to an end, bro. And then when it comes to an end, another thing would take over from it. Another firework will pop from it. That's what this experience is. You are an event within that infinite cycle. You don't control it. You're not the first. You're not the last.